And so this is crucial. Like in the Bible, it says, above all else, guard your heart, from everything you do flows from it. Like when you do things with love, everything that you do, God is love. And so everything that you do is blessed. Because when you put out that love, even if it's not returned to you from that certain individual or in this certain setting or at this certain time, if it's put out in the universe, and you will reap what you sow. It will come back to you. This is one of the 7 Hermetic principles as well. Karma. And so when you do things with love, having the intention and the frequency, the vibration, and the thought and the action, and with them all being aligned with love, and you do these things and say these things and feel these things and think these things, this is what you will receive. And surely, surely, goodness and mercy shall follow you. That love that you put out will return back to you in one form or another, from that same individual or another, or at another later time, in another situation, in another circumstance. And so this is crucial. What we tune our hearts to, it dictates our thoughts as well as our act, which leads to our actions. So if you're sitting around angry and you have that anger and that bitterness in your heart, or if you're feeling any type of emotion, jealousy, envy, any of the 7 deadly sins, or any negative emotion that you're feeling and harboring within your heart, and you begin to feel that, it works as a cycle. Like if you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about the past, and you think about the past hurt, and you're thinking about yesterday, and you think about somebody who passed, and you're thinking about how this person hurt you, and you're thinking about stress and worry and fear of the future and all of these different emotions, you wake up in the morning and now you're emanating this vibration from your heart. And so then you begin to think these things. And then you go off of your thoughts and your feelings and you begin to act. And so a lot of people get stuck in cycles for a very long time. Like somebody could be in heartbreak and end in a depression and stay stuck in a depression. Somebody could have loved ones pass and stay stuck in this depression. Somebody could have terrible things happen to them and they stay stuck in anger and in fear and in regret. And it's like, this is the curse, because it's a negative cycle that you don't want. And so to break that cycle, you have to change and have a revolution. And a lot of times, like when people wake up and they read the Bible, they do devotion. And it's like they meditate on the words of God. And this allows them to change that revolution daily. They're actively seeking to change this revolution. Or they do actions like yoga, breath work, exercise. And they're actively and consciously changing that pattern to have a revolution, to build a new pattern. And this is something that happens, and it has to be consistent. Like how they say it takes about 21 days to break a cycle. That's 3 weeks. This happens consistently. And it doesn't just stop at that 21 days. They say that's typically how long it takes to break a cycle, which is right at the new moon, or from new moon to full moon. And so when you manifest, everything works in cycles. Like as above, so below. In the heavens, like how it says, give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. It says, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so things manifest from the higher dimensions into the lower plane, which is earth. And so this is why when you plant seeds, they germinate. Like, you plant a seed in your mind by thinking some things, you plant seeds in your heart by feeling things, you plant seeds in the universe with every action and feeling and thought that you send out, every word. You're constantly planting these seeds, and they germinate. They germinate within your subconscious mind. Even the things that people say to you, if you allow them to take root and you sit and harbor on it, it begins to take root and germinate. And eventually, after time and cycles pass, the clock goes around, the sun and the moon go around, the days go around, the years go around, things begin to manifest in your life in its season, and it begins to produce fruit, and you'll see those works done in your life. And so this is something to where you have to be careful. The fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom, the beginning of all understanding. And so you want to consciously create. And a lot of times it says we're born into sin. And so we see dysfunction. And some of us come here and we're generational curse breakers. And we come to break the curses that we see in our family. But as you come to break curses and cycles, there's other people who like these things. And they're going to go against you because they like, hey, I like this how it is. I don't want to change nothing. If anything, I want to go further into this. And so this is something to where you may be attacked for this. You may be cast out, and this is the groupthink mentality. Like if you see Erykah Badu, she talks about at the end of Window Seat, you see her get naked and try to evolve. When she says love herself to evolve, they shoot her. And her blood comes out and says groupthink. This is the mob mentality. We're programmed as a people to group together because what's the worst thing in the world? Everybody hates to feel rejection. And so it takes a lot of courage to stand for yourself and be who you truly are and stand up for what you believe in, even if no one else is standing with you. It takes a lot of courage, dedication, perseverance. It takes a lot of grit. And so a lot of people see those people who stand out, and that's why they stand out. And it's because those individuals are authentic and they exercise their individuality and their uniqueness. And they're not afraid to be rejected. They're not afraid, and they're not caring what other people think, and they're not seeking acceptance. And so they're truly authentic in who they are and what they do and how they say what they say. And so when you initiate to break a curse or a cycle, you have to consciously do it and remain consistent. Otherwise, you'll fall back into this pattern. And this is with anything. If people are addicted, that's a cycle. Because everything works in cycles. Through the day, when you go to work, there's a cycle. You clock in. You do your tasks. You may have a 15-minute break. Then you may have a lunch break. Then you may have another 15-minute break. Then you clock out. Everything works in cycles. You wake up in the morning, your stomach might get hungry. And you might eat breakfast. Then throughout the day, as you alchemize that energy, you digest the food, you'll get hungry again, then you'll have lunch. Then you'll get hungry again, then you'll have dinner. You may get hungry later that night and have a midnight snack if you stay up. Everything works in cycles. Just as all of the planets cycle. Just as the whole stars in the heaven turn. If you see the Little Dipper, that's where the swastika comes from. It's the Little Dipper in 4 different directions: east, north, west, and south, all in one. And so everything goes in cycles. Life goes in cycles. And just as the 4 seasons, and we get the same 24 hours in a day, the same 365 in a year. And so everything works in cycles. But the thing about this is the subconscious is stronger than the conscious. So a lot of us are just going in this cycle, and we're just on the merry-go-round. And it's kind of like when SpongeBob comes to Patrick's dream, and he's just like, you can do anything. He's like, yeah, I know. It's just like you're programmed, and you're staying in that program or that curse or that cycle, and you're refusing to break that cycle and have a change and a revolution. And so you have to consciously do this, because a lot of things start in the flesh. The flesh works against the spirit. The flesh the weight of the flesh is heavy.